But you know what else is full of wind? The comment question of the day, which comes from a username, and she said,
I want to know for the comment question of the day, what's the last thing before you go to bed you think about or fantasize about?
The comment question of the day, which comes from a username, HaJJ, and she said,
we would like to know, why isn't Santa coming down your chimney tonight? Leave your interesting comment section in the section below.
You know what time it is for him. It's time for the comment question of the day, which comes from a username, JessicaAmazing11, and she said,
if you can complete one Guinness World Record, what would you do?
The comment question of the day, which comes from a username, DOPEEHH, and she said,
why doesn't McDonald's sell hot dogs?
Interesting question of the day comes from a username, NYCKiko, and she said,
what would be the last words you would say right before you die?
Question of the day, which comes from a username, Supernova Bailey, and they said,
our question is, what's your best pickup line?
But you know what's never fake? The comment question of the day, which comes from a username, DIPMINCHIP, and she said,
if you could be invisible for one day, what would you do and why?
It's time for the comment question of the day, which comes from a username, wemakevidzandyoulol, and they said,
our comment question for the day is, if you could create a new subject in school,
what would it be and why?
Question of the day, which comes from a username, DPOCKY89, and she said,
if you could have sex with anyone, who would you choose?
But you know what's not dumb? The comment question of the day, which comes from a username, Sawyer SouthernBelle, and they said,
we got a question for you. How big?
But you know what's not fake and gay? Your mom's orgasm? No, the comment question of the day, which comes from a username, FunkyMonkey418, and she said,
my comment question of the day is, does your grandma know how to work TV?